So what made you move to Philly?
I wanted to become an esthetician. What happened was I was trying to go aesthetic school in
Okay.
Baltimore.
Okay.
At Von Lee, they wouldn't accept me. Yeah, because there were no male estheticians at the time. Well, they're no longer open, so yeah. They're no, like years later, fast forward,
That's
they
so
asked,
crazy.
yeah, they
though.
asked me to come and teach, and I said no.
You
Yep.
should have knew the value
Yeah.
that was presented to you.
Yep.
What would you say is a moment that really allowed you to kind of realize that, hey, if I got this rejection, how do I move forward? Like, what was like a checkpoint rejection moment for you that you kind of turned it around? Like you might have been so like, but then you did better and you like.
Well, I've been an esthetician for 18 years, and so for yeah, I'm an OG.
Her. Okay.
So 10 years of my career, my endeavor when I became an esthetician was to be an amazing esthetician, do skincare for primarily people of color.
Yeah.
And then waxing, brows, of course, for people of color. For 10 years, I didn't have any black clients.
Wow.
Yeah, they weren't interested in
Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
My clients were Jewish white women.
Shout out. Shout out.
Because shout out to the main line.
How was that like? What was going through your mind like when that was like the clientele scenario for you? Like,
well, I was hurt in the beginning. I was really, really hurt because that was my goal to have African American clients, or people of color. They weren't interested. I cost too much. Yeah,
That's not even talk about price points in the industry and I was just talking to somebody about that, like, because to me, I feel like it's degrading value when you kind of don't respect my price.
Certainly, like they didn't want to work with me, and so and even the clients that I did eventually start getting, they wanted a circus clown. They wanted someone to do tricks and be over the top, and that's just not my personality.
Yeah.
And so I just wasn't interested. So I found that I was a talent, that I was a gift, that I was a necessity with my Jewish clients.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I became
and it feels good also not to force it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I don't like forcing. All money ain't good money.
No.
And also I'm just hearing like some of your experience. I'm like, I can only imagine like the years, because you said 18?
18.
So did you turn 19 this year or is
next year? Next year.
But the fact that it's over a decade.
Yeah.
That's a serious passion. What kind of got you into skincare, aesthetics, business?
The funny part is, well, I'm a 4th generation entrepreneur.
Period.
I am a 4th, but I never paid attention to it. Okay. At least I didn't think I did.
You just tell me yours, because now I'm thinking about it.
So I'm a 4th generation entrepreneur on both sides. And I kind of grew up in the beauty business. My father that raised me owned a barbershop. And so I grew up in that, and I paid attention, I guess. And so I'm the only one out of the children that he's raised that is in the beauty industry.
Wow.
So, and then on top of that, I always gave myself a facial. I paid attention to my mom. She was one of those Avon and facials. So
Mary Kay, my mother was
So every Thursday since I was 12 years old, I gave myself a facial because I got a haircut every Thursday.
Oh, period. So you was fresh.
Yeah, so I would get a haircut every Thursday, and I would give myself a facial. It wasn't until I was like 21 where I got my first facial, my first professional facial. And I said, oh, I do this myself. I said, what is this? Oh, I'm an esthetician. I was like, so am I. And so that's when I was got more and more interested into it. And then
I didn't even know what an esthetician was at first.
I didn't either.
What's that?
And so then I eventually,
bro?
Became an esthetician, moved to Philly, went to school and became an esthetician, and I was the first male esthetician in PA.
Wow.
Yep.
Nick.
There's a lot of firsts.
That is very legendary.
Thank you.
I'm kind of mind blown. Like, how does it feel to be like, hey, I can't, like when you think about it, because you were mentioning one, let's go back, because this is just so much you dropped on me just now. I got to process it, Nick.
Okay.
I got to process it, Nick. So like, you're saying that not only are you a 4th generation entrepreneur, you were kind of groomed into the industry from a very early age and didn't even realize it. I have a similar background with that as well. I do have a similar background with that. My mom, like, she was a person with many hats. She served, relentlessly. Of course, she was my mother, so she's serving me every day, all day. So you know, she showed me not only how to do business and how to be an independent woman, but she groomed me at a very early age without me subconsciously realizing it, because she took me where she was, in the environments that she went in, the people that she was around, and those Mary Kay meetings. I'm telling you, for sure, to get excited, like it's just, yeah, it was in me and I didn't realize it. So funny enough, I went to college, because you mentioned school, and I was like, I gotta tell Nick this. I went to Lincoln University and I majored in nursing.
Oh, okay.
Then I went to Townsend and I graduated with a business administration degree. And then 2 weeks after graduating, this is COVID, by the way. 2 weeks after graduating, I went to esthetician school. So I don't know how your experience was with esthetician school. How was your experience? How was your experience? Like,
mine was good. I'll never forget my teacher. Her name was Mrs. C.
Mrs. C. Shout out to you, Mrs. C.
Mrs. C. And she loved me. And I remember, usually in aesthetic school, they teach you the anatomy, physiology, and all that stuff first. Then you go into your practical. No, we learned how to do a facial the very first day. She went straight to practical the first day.
You know what? That sounds like a similar experience, but we ain't even going to get into it. So yeah, but that's really good. So I would say my experience was similar, but not. Yeah. Yeah.
She was an amazing teacher. And I had a really, so when I left, I was not afraid to do facials, because we did November 1st was the very first time I ever did a facial. And I graduated, that was 2003 or 4, one or the other. 4.
Why that doesn't feel that long ago though?
No. And
I was 4 years old.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop!
What do you mean? I'm that old.
Stop. No, you know what I'm saying. Stop.
So, and I was in school for like maybe 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months. And I did a facial every day.
You know what? It's not even that practice made perfect. Consistency
makes
made perfect results.
Yes.
And it made successful results.
Yes. So I don't believe in practice. I think practice is not failure, but error. Yeah. So you practice to become better. So I would never practice on a human being. I would practice on the doll. But whenever I'm working on a client, I go with intention of always giving them the best service possible.
Absolutely. And I feel that. Like, I just feel like customer service.
Certainly.
I understand. But let's not forget the essence of taking our time.
Yes.
Giving the people the service, but doing it in excellency and in order.
Yes.
And if you can't, like, if we're not saying that things don't happen, that life don't be lifing, but it's like at the same time, you need to treat people how you want to be treated. You need to treat them better.
Right.
You know, especially if it's like, you know, one, your loyal clients, taking care of people, and remembering also things about, it's just like, you know, treat them like a person, because they are a person.
Right.
You know, how do you feel about customer service and everything in the industry right now?
Well, with me, I'm a little crazy when it comes to customer service. Yeah. My clients know I don't tolerate lateness. Yeah. I have a 5-minute grace period.
Nick, I'm sorry. I took 9 minutes to get set up for our interview.
I have a 5-minute grace period. So if you're past the 5 minutes, the 6 minutes, you've lost your appointment. Because I'm disciplined. Because if I'm 1 minute late, I give them the appointment for free. And in 8 years that my salon has been open, I've only done that 7 times. If I'm 1 minute late.
But you create intentionality. I'm pretty sure if it was vice versa, you would accommodate your clients. I do that.
So I'm always on time. Yeah. I'm always on time. If I'm 1 minute late, if the appointment's at 2:00 and I start at 2:01 and the client doesn't even know, I'm like, oh, this is done. This is on the house. And when I've done that, it was like, no, Nick, it's okay. I said, no, it's not okay. Because I was not prepared at 2:00.
I like that.
At 2:00, I should be prepared.
Sometimes you gotta. I would say that was an area that I was slipping in at one point. You know, disregarding this, we was having technical stuff.
No, it's fine. It's fine though.
But you know, if it was legit like a service, I'll be prepared probably an hour early.
Yeah, I'm always prepared. I don't. When the client comes back at 2:00, if appointment's at 2:00, I'm not.
You're not dealing with it.
No, I'm not straddling. No. I start my conversation and I start.
Yeah. I would say that's been something I've had to learn over time. Being I started so young and I didn't have anybody immediately to look after or look up to as a mentor in terms of like being an entrepreneur in the industry, that was like a little different for me. So it was different seeing my mom's Mary Kay, like that to me, independent sales consultant, but somebody that's in the service industry.
Right.
You know, I didn't really get that until like a little bit after I started, like 2 years after I started really taking myself serious as a business owner. You have so much in front of you.
Yeah.
You have so many things to accomplish and to bring to life. Definitely, if no one tells you, like, I know you're probably always serving other people and probably always uplifting other people, but you know, everything you've done before this in your life, like it wasn't by accident. No. You know, you were here by divine assignment and divine purpose. So, you know, definitely just keep doing what you're doing, keep inspiring people like us that we're listening, we're watching, and we're applauding you. This is a safe space, and guys, like, definitely connect with Nicck, like follow him on IG, on all the socials, but we need more of this energy in the industry, because I feel like that's definitely another big component to our industry.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Nicck.
Thank you, my love.
Yes. I'm a hugger.
Yeah, oh my goodness.